So we've been waiting to hear what was going to happen with Donald Trump's January 6th case. And it's back in the hands of Judge Tanya Chutkan. Now, some people are expecting it to move rather quickly because that's how she likes to operate. She's got 5 or 6 motions um, that were filed ahead of it getting paused for the whole immunity decision by the Supreme Court, etc. So she could decide on those rather quickly. And comparing her to Judge Cannon, there's a lot of things. She's not going to be holding endless hearings on these motions. She's going to, give them filing deadlines for their input, which would be, you know, a written paper saying, here's the case law that backs it, or here's the evidence that backs what I'm saying. And then she's going to look it over and make a ruling. She moves things very, very quickly. She's not going to drag this out. She has said she wanted this case in front of a jury before the election. Now, that was before the U.S. Supreme Court stalled it with this immunity decision for 6 to 7 months. Now, I don't know if she's going to be able to get it before a jury before the election, given we are less than 100 days away from the election. But we have this immunity decision to contend with as well. Now, she has not indicated how she wants to handle this. The prosecutors are getting ready for varying scenarios because some of the evidence they may want to use might not be able to be presented. It might be considered off limits due to this immunity thing, and things like that. So what are they looking at? Well, one thing they could do is she could hold one hearing where they present all their evidence over a couple of days, and she decides if any of it is considered an official act of a president and what parts are and aren't off limits. That could be one way she could deal with it. And that would get all of the evidence out in front of the judge, in front of the press, ahead of the election without a jury, because that would just be a hearing on whether the evidence is allowed, not establishing whether or not Donald Trump is guilty. So that is one possibility. Another possibility would be for them to just present the trial and then object to evidence as it goes. And she would have to decide, as it goes, if it's an official act, etc. And I don't think she's going to go that route. But she's playing it kind of close to the vest, with how she's doing this. But hopefully we start getting some things rolling now that the case is back before her. We're going to start getting updates because she is going to fast pace this. She likes to move her cases along. She does not like to drag them out, unlike Judge Cannon, who seemed to drag this out forever. And she has already ruled on Jack Smith being appointed and that it was fine. So that's not going to be an issue. Again, we have the conflicting issue with Judge Cannon saying he was unconstitutionally appointed. And I don't think Donald Trump and his attorneys are going to present that in this case, because if they do, it would get appealed, and then you would have potentially 2 different judges ruling, and depending on how appeals courts rule, changes how the Supreme Court may have to deal with it. So expect more coming out about this case, and coming out quickly, because she is going to want to move this case along.